All right, even though the holiday season is over, holiday returns are not. A lot of retail companies like H&M and Zara will charge you to return with shipping fees for online orders. I did not know this. So a Santa Monica company called Happy Returns, love that name, is looking to change that. So on your sides, Kristine Lazar is here to talk more about what they are doing. I never return things because I just hate the process in general. So
I mean, most people do. In fact,
Right.
The #1 complaint I'm told to customer service is people calling in to say, what's the status of my return? Has it arrived yet? When am I going to get my money? I personally will not shop at a place that I can't return in person because I hate having to go to the post office and do it. So on average, it can cost a retailer about $30 for each return between shipping and the manpower to process that return. But a company called Happy Returns is offering retailers a way to keep those costs down so consumers can keep getting their returns for free. For every $1 billion in sales, customers return about $145 million in merchandise, according to the National Retail Federation. The total return rate for last year averaged 14.5%, but that number spikes for women's clothing.
Denim, 23 to 25%. Dresses is 30 to 40, and expensive dresses, 50 to 60.
With the goal of saving retailers money and customers their time is Happy Returns, a company founded in Santa Monica in 2016.
Here we have returns that have made it to our warehouse.
Happy Returns allows customers to buy online and return in person.
We allow for a box-free, label-free, instant refund experience at 9,000 locations across the country.
Shoppers can drop their returns at any UPS location and select Ulta, Petco, and Staples stores.
You'd go online, you'd start a return, you'd get a QR code that we would generate. You'd bring that QR code and just the items, no box, no label, to one of those 9,000 locations.
And customers instantly get their money back.
So without something like Happy Returns, if someone were to return, like this pair of shoes, they're paying for just this to go back.
Correct, and this is a large box,
Right.
as you may notice, and frequently, especially here on the West Coast, you may be shipping that all the way across the country with just this one item, which is quite expensive, and the retailer is usually bearing that cost.
Happy Returns Senior Vice President of Operation Tim Fair says that single box of shoes can cost the retailer about $25 to ship back. The high cost of returns has prompted more than 40% of retailers to now charge customers when they no longer want an item, including places like H&M, Zara, and J.Crew.
I'm seeing more and more stores and businesses charge for returns because it's not sustainable to not charge. They'll subsidize it. Maybe it's $5, $7, whatever it is. People are getting used to expecting that.
Anvu Lieberman is with SoCal-based Noggin, which uses Happy Returns for its clients like Brookstone, Kenneth Cole, and Justice. Vu Lieberman says it saved their clients about $1 million a year. Happy Returns promises to cut down on costs by as much as 40%. And research shows that customers are more loyal to stores that allow for those in-person returns. Happy Returns says 90% of customers avoid retailers who only offer mail-in returns. And a recent study by WBR Insights found that 89% of consumers are less likely to buy from a retailer after having a bad return experience. Or doing what I think I've done before, where the return sits in the back of my closet and I'm like, I'm gonna send it in, and then I forget, and then I run out of the time. Because the other thing that retailers are doing is, I remember it used to be like 3 months, 6 months even to return something. Now a lot of retailers will only give you 3 weeks to a month. So especially if you got something for a gift, you better get on it, because if that person bought it a couple weeks before Christmas, you may be running out of time.
But you could still go to the store and return it in person, right?
If there's an actual storefront.
Okay.
But a lot of people buy things online and
right.
there's no storefront, or there's not one, like my local mall closed J.Crew. So now if I want to return something in person to J.Crew,
Right.
I have to drive like an hour. Well, I don't want to do that. But if I can just take it into a local store, and let me tell you, I actually used Happy Returns before I did this story, before I even got the pitch from them. And I went into the Ulta, and then I got a little coupon, and of course I spent money at Ulta, so I didn't just get money back, I then shelled it out. But that's why stores like Ulta and Petco, or we see Kohl's doing it with Amazon, that's why they do it. They make the return easy for you, so hopefully you stick around in store and buy something.
I just love that you're always on our side. What are you going to tell us tomorrow?
What do I
Give
have
us a
tomorrow?
tease.
Oh, I have a new federal rule that will better protect us when we go buy a car and we don't get those like bait and switch deals where
Oh
you
my gosh,
think
that
you're going to
happened
go
to
in
me.
for a car
Yeah.
for $30K and then you get there and suddenly it's $45.
Well, I remember for me, I saw the car listing online and it was a certain price. And I went in, found the exact car, and it was much more expensive. They ended up honoring the one online, but
they don't always, and
Right.
they think once they get you in there. The other problem is junk fees, right? So you start paying for extended warranties that you don't need. And the Biden administration has been really strong going against these junk fees, and this law, or rule rather, what they call it, the FTC calls it a rule, addresses that as well. So we'll have that tomorrow.
Okay, I love the teas and I love the whole Happy Returns.
Yeah, well, thank you for
also
having me on.
Love the name for Happy Returns.
Yeah, it is a good name. It's catchy. I wish I thought of it.
I'm actually out of town, I think next week or the week after, so probably gonna have you fill in, okay?
Oh, well, you got to say it on air, so I can't say no, right?
Yeah, exactly. She's here to stay. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate